Why is there a crane outside? And what the hell's all this?
It is the 41st millennium, and the Emperor sits upon the golden throne.
Nope. No.
What do you mean?
I don't have the energy for this.
What?
You talk about this Warhammer shit all the time, and I'm not gonna sit here and listen to how the Imperial Fist used to eat poop and drink piss.
But that's real!
No, I'm out!
Oh, come on, I spit a lot on this. The setting's actually a really deep metaphor on why ethnostates are actually... Blaine? I would have liked to have played Fire Warrior one last time.
Fire Warrior is a rarity when it comes to Warhammer games. Though there are many games, and I do mean many, Fire Warrior is a rare FPS style game before Darktide, Vermintide, Boltgun, and, Necromunda Hired Gun. I honestly forgot about that game. Published by THQ, they searched for a developer to make the game, and Kuju answered with a pitch for Tau to be the protagonist of the game, which grabbed the attention of Games Workshop, the IP holders of the Warhammer universe. And they got their chance to make the game. The voice talent for this game is also very interesting to look at. We have Tom Baker voicing the narrations.
The Segmentum Solar, the cradle of mankind. Here is Terra, known to antiquity as Earth, the heart of the Imperium of Man.
He's better known for his role as the Fourth Doctor of Doctor Who, Brian Blessed, the GOAT Prince Voltan in Flash Gordon, Peter Seraphakajube, who played Darth Maul and the Sommelier in John Wick 2.
Good afternoon, Mr. Wick. It's been a long time.
Also Tom Clark Hill, known for Escal in Witcher 3, or wait, that means... Fire Warrior was the first of the Warhammer FPS games. Released in 2003, it was touted as a Halo killer. Compared to Halo Combat Evolved though, it falls drastically short on shooting mechanics. Why does it do that?
This is awesome.
Okay, I turned my sensitivity on my mouse down maximum. Cutscenes and animations. Damn. Look, they modeled him holding his staff, but he doesn't have it yet.
He doesn't have a staff.
Oh my god. And audio mixing. Oh, it's loud still. I turned it down.
I bet it reset after you left the mission.
Hey, Eddie, you ready for a fun fact I know about this game?
I can't hear you.
Go on the green light. The tactical readouts say our forces are making good progress, but stay alert. Do not fail your trial. Prove your skills and honor the Firecast.
And if that wasn't enough, literally a year later we got Halo 2. Fire Warrior was hyped for its release, but the game was a mess to play. The PS2 had the most stable version according to most people, and the PC port was nearly unplayable. Other reviewers had to modify config files to get it to work. GOG has seemingly fixed the stability issues for the most part. I can actually hear you guys now. What's up?
He's gonna mansplain his fucking playthrough of Bad Republic Commando. Yeah, really excited.
Oh,
Really
actually,
excited.
this isn't very accurate because actually this guy.
God,
can't
it
do
did
this,
fucking
and this is part of
reset.
that.
Here's my other favorite fact about this. This is one of those games that
Oh, he plays the Tau?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This game's awesome now. Hold on.
Yeah, just you wait.
See, okay, so you don't like this. What keeps happening? Are you tapping out?
I'm tapping out real quick. I gotta.
Okay, thank God. Thank God.
I'm adjusting stuff. Don't worry.
I wasn't unconvinced that it
Now,
wasn't the
did it
game
crash
itself.
when I did that? Yep.
Ooh.
With that out of the way, I bet some of you are wondering what Warhammer is. Well, once upon a time, it was kept from the masses, known only to the most chuddish of people. But much like Dune, it has seen a surge of popularity and has entered the mainstream. Warhammer has hundreds, if not thousands of books detailing everything that has ever occurred.
So if you want to read certain plot lines in certain chronological orders, it's all very easily contained in this fucking graph, right? So you start at the beginning with Horus Rising. And the first 4 books, they are chronological, so that's easy. But things get interesting when you get to book 5.
Instead of making a LS Mark length video, I'll give you a brief overview of the lore pertaining to the Fire Warrior's main factions. Starting with... Human history is exactly as it is now, except 14,000 years into our future, we have conquered the galaxy using extra-dimensional travel through wormholes traversing a plane of existence called the Warp. In that time, we built super advanced AI to do everything for us, and magic-like technology to dominate any Xenos. AI, of course, rebelled, putting our galactic civilization on the brink of destruction, causing the Age of Strife, where human colonies degraded and degenerated technologically. Whilst this was happening, an 18-foot-tall Turkish immortal decided that this was cringe and lame. Enter the Emperor of Mankind, a literal demigod that wore golden armor and has been around since humanity started. Despite his entire persona, look, and dream of immortal ruler of humanity, he is in fact an atheist. The Emperor tried to create 20 godlike sons with gene splicing, but they were scattered throughout the galaxy. Saddened by this, he made hundreds of thousands of mini-sons, Space Marines. Using these gene-rot warriors, he sent them out on a great crusade to reclaim his sons and all of the Milky Way. Long story short, he did it. However, half of his sons were huge dicks, and the biggest dick of them all, Horus, decided that Daddy didn't know best, and launched a galactic civil war in the year M30.
Breed once more. And if I cannot save it from your failure, Father, then let the galaxy burn.
Why didn't the Emperor see this coming? He named the guy Horus H. Heresy. Blah blah blah, civil war, Emperor is mortally wounded, Horus is blown to smithereens, they say, and the Emperor sat upon the golden throne, keeping him psychically alive, but physically dead. 10,000 years later, and the Imperium of Man has become a zealous hive of God-Emperor worshipping fascists, with 1,000,000 worlds under its iron fists. But, for the next faction, we have to go a little bit back in time. In the year M34, the primitive tower discovered by the Imperium, nothing more than cavemen at the time, the explorer fleet that found them noted them down for extermination within the next 100 years. Before they could do that, a warp storm cut off the section of the universe from the Imperium. A mere 1,000 years later, the warp storm finally passed, but instead of a near-sapient caveman race, the Imperium found railgun-wielding mecha-communists that have carved out a sizable chunk of space that has been inaccessible to the Imperium. And so the Tau Empire has entered the galactic stage. Led by their ethereals, mysterious Tau that came about during a great divide in Tau culture, they are the spiritual and political leader of the Tau, instilling a belief in the greater good. An ideology based on uniting all and serving all, with no one having petty grudges against one another, but instead raising the Empire up for all, not one. Speaking of unity, the Tau are split into a caste system based around the elemental names. Air caste are pilots, merchant fleets, and voidsmen. Tall, slender, with brittle bones. We see a few of them in the game, and ew. After them is the Earth caste. Short and stout, they serve as the technical and artisan functions of the Tau Empire. The Water caste. Tau with great political sway using their charisma, and acting as merchants with other races. Finally, the Fire caste. The Chads of the Tau Empire, making up the entirety of their military. They are the mech suit wearing, pulse rifle wielding crack shots of the Tau Empire. And they are who we play as. Oh, and they ally themselves with other humans or Xenos, that are chill. Obviously, the very tolerant Imperium were super stoked about the now expansionist, technologically advanced bovine communists taking over planets in the Ultima Segmentum, in the Damocles Gulf. I guess not. Luckily for the Tau, however, a massive fleet of Tyranids, the new galactic threat, had just arrived elsewhere in the galaxy. The Imperial forces decided that continuing the war against the new fledgling race was simply not worth the commitment, and redeployed to a new front, leaving the Taus to their own devices. The Tau have now established a large enough foothold in the galaxy that for the Imperium to completely eradicate them would mean losing wars on other fronts, to kill a race that's really the least aggressive of the aliens in the galaxy. Okay, well, that's it. That's the brief history of our only two factions in the game. On to gameplay itself. Well, it's interesting. The game is supposed to be an FPS, but it feels like a weird rail shooter almost. The auto aim is on by default, and without it, I wouldn't want to play this game. Moving the mouse to aim is a task itself. It's almost like you're building up momentum each time you move, and you have to hit a certain critical level of kinetic energy before the gun actually sways. Also, weapon spread. Nearly every gun in this game has horrendous spread on the projectiles. It's honestly a 50-50 chance whether or not the projectile you fire leaves the weapon in a straight line. The other downside of the game is that you can only ever have 2 weapons at any time. And one of said weapons has to be a Tau gun. God, the Tau guns are so bad. The starting rifle I almost immediately stopped using once I got my grubby little hands on some good old-fashioned human weapons. Weapons in general in this game are kind of a letdown. There are 14 in total: the Tau pulse rifle, the Tau carbine, the burst cannon, railgun, bolter, las gun, shotgun, las pistol, rocket launcher, melt-a-gun, sniper rifle, auto gun, plasma pistol and rifle, and finally a sword? God, which has the worst animation for a melee weapon I think I've ever seen.
Still full of hostiles. Find the extraction point as fast as you can.
The placement of these weapons are also bad. The beginning of the game is littered with standard arms only. And the power weapons are exclusively for the later half of the game. It'd be nice for the developers to have given us more opportunity to use them on lowly guardsmen. Weapon sound effects are also subpar, especially the auto gun, which has a default machine gun sound effect. Did you hear that stock?
Oh my god, yeah, listen to that. Yeah, I was about to say.
But then you also have the bolter and plasma gun, which sound great. Then there's some strange decisions made when it came to the melt-a-gun. The melt-a-gun has always been a major source of inconsistency in the lore, whether it's a beam weapon, a special plasma formula gun, or like a heat wave gun. It's like a weird flamethrower in this game. It feels pretty weak in comparison to what it should do to Marines. But where the game falls flat on mechanics, it makes up for overall aesthetics of the environment. The scale of the world feels correct, and later on the visuals become even more fantastical, fitting with the universe. Look at this scene where you're boarding the outside of an Imperial ship. It looks huge.
Oh yeah, you're like, I didn't think about that. You're like on top of the ship. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
That's, you know what, that's a good idea. I like that. That's fun. Alright, I'll be right back.
The Tau ship section also has a lot of small details in the way it's built. Like the ladders are step-based. Since the Tau are hooved bovines, it would be harder for them to use rung ladders. Instead, it's built almost like a rock wall. As for the music, well... It's great. The soundtrack has a lot of good ambiance. It's good at conveying the universe as a desolate and sorrowful place. A lot of amazing music comes out of 40k games, especially Mechanicus and Darktide. It's good to see that even this far back, music still has its identity locked in. Now finally onto the actual campaign, that is completely canon. Remember that everything as we go through it is canon and has happened within the span of 24 hours.
I will be playing the fire. Maybe we'll be playing the warrior.
And Cody will be holding the 40,000 hammers.
We see an Orca transport descending upon a Tau colony world, where an ethereal is talking to a local. Before getting ambushed and captured by a Space Marine squad, one of the Tau managed to send out a distress signal before getting stomped on by a Marine. We then see a Tau Manta entering the orbit of planet Dolomar 4, dispatching 2 orcas with our protagonist, Kais, aboard. We learn that it is our first deployment and that we are undergoing a trial by fire to test whether or not we'll be able to become a fire warrior. Our overall mission is to find info on a prison complex to rescue our ethereal. As all dropship landings go, a squad member is killed before we even get to land. And we get to see firsthand the famous and well-known instant disintegration when the Tau die.
Nah, I just look like that.
All
What's up with that guy? What happened to that guy? What the fuck was that?
We couldn't let him just sit there for a bit.
One.
We enter the chaotic battlefield and immediately start the fight, and get cut off from our squad. The first enemies we encounter are Imperial Guardsmen, specifically the Armageddon Steel Legion. Or at least what the wiki says. They don't look like Steel Legion that I know, trading out the iconic yellow-tan coats for blue and red camo patterned. But thankfully, there are iconic battle cries in the game.
Encryption unit. I am broadcasting the...
Oh yeah, listen to that crunch. We fight through the trenches, blasting our way through an entire platoon of men. we eventually run into a new enemy type, the Commissar, an officer that leads guardsmen into battle, strengthening their resolve and... Oh, I guess that's a way to swing a sword? Anyway, we hop into a bunker and mow down a squad with the most accurate gun in the game. The enemies in this game really give it their all when they're dying. Very Oscar-worthy performances.
Oh.
It's quiet.
That's insane. That's insane.
Still had a line to give.
We finish the mission taking cover in a bunker.
Find the button.
Okay.
Find the button. Okay.
Sorry.
Yes, sir. We fight our way through the bunker and back out into the trenches, trying to reach an extraction zone. These first couple of missions are really a linear shooting gallery, so there isn't much to see or explain. We do come to a doom door that needs a colored key to unlock it. And finally, we make it into the Imperial facility, where an orca attempts to land but is fended off by just a guy. So we kill everybody in the room and everybody outside the rooms until we get our first boss fight. Whoa! The Valkyrie. Heavy gunship, and it's dead. Just as impactful in the tabletop, I see. I killed it.
Okay.
I killed it. I killed it
And it
immediately.
just disappeared?
I killed it
What
immediately
was
with a
that?
single grenade. I threw one grenade at it.
I think you need to save your grenades.
No, it
Those
landed
are
in
really
the,
good.
It landed in the fucking intake thingy, the propeller, or
I
whatever.
think that was, yeah. I really was like an Afghan soldier throwing a rock into an Apache and taking it down.
Anyway, we escape and get congratulated by our Fireblade before we're told that we are about to be sent on another mission. On said next mission, we're back in the trenches, this time with a squad of fire warriors, breaching gates to infiltrate the Imperial prison. Eventually, we break our way into a cave system looking for an air vent and... Wait, was that the same voice line used back to back?
Watch me the big hammer. That was pretty sick.
You must destroy this.
Man, there sure wasn't a lot of budget in this game, was there? Once in the facility, we must sneak past these cameras? The game seems to have small sections that are just somewhat incomplete, like a small stealth section here, but nothing happens if you're spotted. Or afterwards, they set up like a small turret sequence where you're supposed to post up on a multi-las gun and shoot down a squad of guardsmen, but the AI gets stuck at the top of the stairs. And they're out of range of your turret. Like, why does my laser-based projectile have drop-off? I understand dissipating, but bullet drop? After fighting deeper into the prison, we hear a communication that Raptors are going to be deployed against us. For those out of the know, the Raptors chapter of the Space Marines are the most reasonable of their brothers. When dealing with threat, most Space Marines try to figure out the coolest way to kill said threat in melee and mount it on the wall. Raptors try to figure out the most efficient way to kill said threat that isn't fucking stupid. Because of this, the other Marines see this chapter as pussies. With that being said, deployment of a Space Marine squad is a big uh-oh for us, but that's a problem for another day. We now set charges on the prison defense batteries to stop the artillery from killing more Tau outside. After the guns are destroyed, we open the prison ramps, plaguing us with more default alarm sounds. We get to the courtyard and descend into the lower levels of the prison. Entering the lower levels, we are being jammed by the Imperials. I really like this whole next section. The Imperial prison is a lot of fun to run through, and the noises make me giggle. Blasting through more guardsmen, we do run into weird sounds of moaning somewhere in the facility. One doom key grabbed later, and we make our way into the main chamber, where we are almost jumped by this dick hiding behind a podium.
Gotta find the blue.
No activity.
I fucking knew it, you son of a bitch, you let yourself go, you idiot. Killing another commissar, we get a key to go even deeper within. It seems through intercepted transmissions between a tech priest and the planetary governor that they are testing whether or not the Tau have any latent psychic abilities. Tau, in fact, do not have psychic people within their race, so it's interesting to see the Imperials are testing how dangerous of a foe the Tau could be. I too would be scared if the local crystal girl told me the future and wielded a railgun. We find a fellow fire warrior that informs us that the ethereal Kovash has been taken into the fucking confessionorium. God, I love Warhammer. Anyway, in the corridors of the new area, we find a spooky whisper door that's totally normal and has no future impact on the story.
Pretty sick.
What's in there?
Squelchers.
You know, each time I see a commissar, I like to think it's the same guy who comes back. Anyway, we find a bolter sitting on a suspiciously tall chair, and we find the room making the strange noises. Inside, we find our ethereal in a spooky mind-lightning room. Entering, we finally get a glimpse of the planetary governor, Severus, who calls in an ultramarine... No, it's a raptor? What
is wrong with you? Why are you blue? Ugh.
We free the ethereal from the Confessionorium. We fight our way through the facility, escorting Kovash to a cave system where an orca is waiting. And he stands there thankful, staff animation at the ready. Our orca returns to the Manta, but we are under attack by an Imperial cruiser that has deployed the biggest fucking boarding ships I've ever seen. Like really, that would just destroy the ship with the size of the hole it put through it. Oh good, the alarm is back. In good news, however, we get the next gun in the Tau arsenal, the Pulse Carbine. It has a higher rate of fire than the rifle and comes with an underbarrel grenade launcher attachment. It really becomes the best Tau weapon until later. We are tasked to stop the new Imperial Guard troops before they can open our hangar doors. They look like Tempestus Scions. I'm not really sure, but they do look a lot better than the Steel Legion counterparts. We move throughout the ship and see the freaky aircast Tau, and how Tau store things. It's kind of neat. The Tau ship also has a lot of cool designs. Anyway, fighting our way through the ship and accidentally killing an aircast or two. I saw your ass. Oh fuck!
Oh.
I thought that was an enemy. We make our way to the arena fight after arena fight. There really isn't much to say about the mission story-wise, except the fact that the Imperials actually set up their fucking Doom Key laser grids on doors. We discover that one of the Imperial boarding parties has started to dock an Imperial barge. We are tasked to destroy the winch that's bringing in the barge before they can fully dock and deploy too many guardsmen for the defenses to handle. After planting the bombs, we beat hooves out of there and continue the defense of the ship. A new weapon is now at our disposal, the shotgun. It's a pump-action weapon whose special fire mode is firing twice, and then ejecting both shells. Somehow, we are tasked to reactivate a plasma generator. This is where we run into a new enemy type. I'm not sure what it's called. It's a priest, I think? Maybe a psyker? Either way, when you kill them, they turn into
Chunky Salsa
and drop their plasma guns. Task complete, task added, as another generator has been disabled and needs fixing. Sadly, the Imperials have installed the mother of all door gates. It requires 3 keys instead of 1. Like seriously, who the fuck brought all this shit to lock all our doors? 3 keys, 3 arenas. First one is a piece of cake, the second one is...
Door sealed.
Okay. What the fuck was that? Anyway, we fight through the... Oh shit, servo skulls! 2 keys down, 1 more to go. The last key is on a sergeant in a generator room. And like a fucking psychopath, we turn it on and melt the Imperial fools like butter in a microwave. We enter into the main reactor room, where the priests are doing something to the reactors. You know, come to think of it, I think the priests are actually supposed to be tech priests. But they explode into way too much meat for my liking. After destroying the shields surrounding them, we go through and eliminate the last of the tech priests. After turning the last of the tech priests into
Chunky Salsa,
we are told to make our way to the bridge. After clearing out the rooms of enemies and reactivating the fans to drain out the coolant gas from the main reactor leading to the bridge, we have to take a detour through a cinema and blow a hole into a ventilation system to turn on the fans. While crawling through, we pick up a radio transmission between 2 soldiers, talking about stealing a ship instead of going back to their ship. They call it a slaughterhouse and debate on letting Marines handle what's going on their ship. Finally making it to the bridge, we encounter more raptors, wielding the plasma rifles, a much bigger version of the weapons the priests are wielding. We successfully defeat the squad and are told that we are going to counterboard the Imperial ship. We see the 2 ships are absolutely barraging the shit out of each other before our pod lands within the shields and we disembark, tasked with clearing out the defensive guns that are shooting down our reinforcements.
40k.
Died immediately.
Dude, the fucking favorite part about this is if you see a guy who's not you, he's just like, might as well already be dead.
After dealing with the guns, we deal with even more Marines, and it's just really getting sad for them at this point. We've killed an entire tactical team worth of these guys. Anyway, the Imperials reactivate the shields, and we have to go press a button to turn them off. riveting. Disabling the engines is our next mission. The entirety of this mission is kind of my favorite when it comes to the overall environment. Going through a gray metal corridor and ending up on a well-stocked library with books to the ceiling and large paintings of classic 40k art is just fucking rad. While heading to the engine room, we get a very brief stealth section, I think. We come across a long hallway with shielded turrets and we are told to find a way around. We literally just hop into a vent and immediately go around it whilst a marine looks for us. Descending down, we find more of the security cameras that we have been told to sneak past or else something will happen. More killing. As we make our way to the engine room, we finally plant a bomb on the engine, destroying it. Now we reverse what we did on our ship, fighting our way to the bridge, take the Admiral hostage to broker some kind of ceasefire. We have a small sniper alley fight. Turns out the sniper rifle bypasses the shields we have and deals damage directly to our health. We make our way to the bridge, where the Admiral sicks more Marines onto us, but we deal with them as easily as we have done in the past. And, oh, I see, it looks like the Marines have learned from the commissars on how to swing a sword. After the fight, we hear a voice telling us to cease fire before passing out. We have been captured. In the next cutscene, we see a truce has been struck between the two on behest of a Space Marine Captain Ardius. We finally get a cutscene with the Imperial forces, and man are they hamming it up hard.
Ardius, I must protest. Why are we forced to negotiate with this alien scum?
Need I remind you, Admiral Constantine, that this alien scum casually walked into Governor Severus's prison fortress and absconded with a number of Imperial prisoners? Scum. They are too dangerous to be scum, Admiral.
But, Captain, it is my sacred duty to eradicate the alien and its heresies.
It is our sacred duty to protect the Imperium from threats from outside and in. One day, we will deal with this Tau race, but not today. I must stop this war so I can concentrate on the greater threat.
I don't understand, Captain. What greater threat?
A cancer, Admiral. A tumor to be removed. Ah, here comes the Tau representative. It is time to let him have his rescuer back.
I love it. Ardius speaks of a greater threat than the Tau. Our Ethereal comes aboard the ship to sign a treaty and retrieve us from the Imperial custody. We meet with the captain, but before we can speak, Governor Severus comes to place doubt on the captain's decisions. He threatens us and heads to the truce talks.
Will be disappointed. You are dismissed. I remember you. I forget nothing. The Astartes will not be here forever, Tau. Ignore him. The truce talks will go ahead, or his head will be forfeit.
We watch from behind glass as the treaty begins, standing beside the Space Marine captain. But before the treaty can be signed, Severus interrupts and says,
Peace. There will be no peace. Only the embrace of...
Ah yes, the bad guy in every Warhammer game. Chaos is the third and final faction we'll be learning about for this game. To keep it brief, we discovered that there is a Hell Dimension, but the Hell Dimension is also a very convenient way to travel through space quickly. During the Heresy, everyone was told that gods aren't real and never were. Except within this dimension, where there exist 4 major gods based on emotions, and different acts. Slaanesh for excess of feelings, Khorne, the blood god of war, Nurgle, the grandfather of plague and death, and finally Tzeentch, the changer of ways. The Emperor lied to his sons, which led to the whole Civil War thing I talked about in the beginning, and in short, half of the Space Marines became demon worshippers and fled into the giant rift between realms called the Eye of Terror after Horus failed. Now these spiky boys come out of the Eye of Terror to fuck with the Imperium on a daily basis. In the game, the Chaos Marines we are fighting are the Word Bearers. Think of them as Jehovah's Witnesses of the 40k universe. Much like real Jehovah's Witnesses, they show up unannounced, trying to convince you to join their cult-like group, and if you don't, they summon demons to skin you and eat your dog. Back to the game. So Chaos is here, and Captain Ardius is not very happy. He equips us with a burst cannon, a Tau minigun usually equipped by drones or transports. We also get a new bolter variant after killing a Chaos Space Marine. The Chaos Bolter. It's like a bolter, but better, I think. It seems to do more damage. I think it also has a larger AoE blast when the bolt explodes. Yet again, we must save our Ethereal. whilst battling through the Chaos forces aboard the ship, and man, these Chaos Marines are really annoying. Unlike every other enemy in the game, the Chaos Marines randomly teleport behind or in front of you, spewing bolter fire. We get some strong visuals here as well. The warp begins to corrupt the ship, causing it to have fleshy growths and twisted architecture. We see our ethereal thrown into a hell portal before we can get to him though. Captain Ardius tasks us with disabling the cruiser's guns, as Severus has started to rig the guns to fire on the Tau ship in an attempt to stop the ceasefire from occurring. We stop the guns and Captain Ardius informs us that the ship is too far corrupted by chaos, so he's decided to scuttle the vessel, and tells us to get off the ship as quick as possible before an Imperial battleship atomizes it. We get a 5-minute countdown as we scour through the ship looking for a means to escape. While doing so, we are fighting both Chaos Marines and Guardsmen. In one of the areas, we come across a Chaos Dreadnought, a machine with a Marine welded into its interface after being critically wounded. Think of it like a DARPA-funded little rascal. He acts as the second boss fight in the game, and his death cry is pretty funny. Afterwards, we finally find a drop pod to escape from the ship. Captain Ardius tells us that he wants to meet up once we make planetfall. Landing on the planet, we encounter new enemies, Chaos Raptors. Unlike the loyal Marine Raptors, these are Marines with jetpacks. I've seen the Raptors on the tabletop, and the last thing I expect out of them was these weird fucking bird noises. Jesus Christ, okay. They are very fast and wield plasma pistols, as well as long taloned fingers. They aren't durable as the Marine counterparts, but their speed can make up for it. Our mission on the planet is to stop the Chaos Forces from activating and corrupting an Imperial Titan, which is a massive cathedral with legs and Armageddon-causing weaponry. Speaking of weaponry, we find a railgun, which is Tau are famous for. One of the few guns with a scope on it, it's meant to be our new anti-tank gun, which is perfect as we come across a new enemy, the Obliterator. Also, there are these tiny demon servo skulls. Some of the enemies look like Gmod assets. To stop Severus from activating Titan, we decide it should be destroyed by planting charges on the legs, groin, and head of the Titan. Guarding the Titan are Chaos Marine sorcerers wielding dangerous warp energies. However, they're no match for the railguns, so we easily put them down. After the first 3 charges are set, we move on to the next boss fight in the game. We find ourselves brawling against a champion of chaos, known as a Demon Prince. He teleports behind you with melee attacks and has a plasma-like gun arm. However, now that the railgun's been unlocked, we deal with him as easily as any other Marine, and it's kinda disappointing.
I really can't believe we live in a universe. I mean, I guess I can't believe
Damn, you's a bitch.
Damn, you
You's a
bitched his ass
bitch.
out.
You's a bitch. I got you.
After the fight, we hop into the head of the Titan and place the final charge, destroying the God Engine and ruin whatever plan Severus had. We then meet up with Captain Ardius. He takes us to Severus's Hell Temple, and, well, this was my reaction to seeing it at the time.
You know, the Chaos Insurrection just happened. How much time did they have to do all of this? Like, what?
Dude,
Oh!
do you think there's like a chaos version of Queer Eye for this third guy?
The environment gets its strongest here when entering into the temple.
Like, who built that?
With giant faces for arches, flesh corridors, and hell lightning, this place is so rad. At this point in the game, it's become trivial what tries to fight us. We are given so much railgun ammo that we blow to smithereens anything that comes to fight us. I won't lie though, even with this godlike weaponry, every now and then the raptors would appear out of nowhere and scare me.
This fucking gun is so funny.
It's like they jump scare you and then immediately turn into Ash Baby.
We end up in the big scary hell room, trademark pending, where a massive portal is sitting at the center of the room. After we kill all the minions surrounding the gate, but before we can enter it, a demon prince arrives yet again, and we immediately dunk on him before jumping through the portal. The portal takes us to what is possibly a place within the warp simply known as the pit. Yet again, the pit has the strongest visuals and ambiance. Unfortunately for the scum that lives here, we are pure of heart and are wielding a railgun. Man, look at this fucking arena. Isn't this shit just awesome looking? Anyway, we fight, we kill, and we progress our way through the Disturb album cover fighting Chaos Marines, Dreadnoughts, and Wizards, the whole way until we descend far enough and run into the Admiral?
Sir Town, have you come to save us or damn us? There are things I must tell you, but there is little time. Severus has done something to me, planted a seed of chaos in me. Severus is trying to transfigure himself by binding with a demon. He is trying to become immortal. For all our sakes, demolish the temple, Fire Warrior. Stop Severus transfiguring. Severus is luring someone powerful, someone he can use as a blood sacrifice. The Chaos Seed is changing me. Kill me now before I transform. Kill me!
Oh shit, he's a boss fight! The Admiral, infected by chaos, explains that Severus is trying to get the power to become immortal through the blood sacrifice of a powerful vessel. Maybe that's the reason why he stole our ethereal. We finally get to the bottom of the pit and find out that the profane ritual is just being powered by 4 generators? We plant bombs on them and destroy them. Cerberus himself appears with our ethereal after doing so.
Ah, so you made it this far. Don't bother shooting. I'm quite safe here in the Convergence. Ardius will be detained a short while, so you and I can talk. You saw what happened to Admiral Constantine, didn't you? That was the mark of chaos. Human flesh is so susceptible to the change. Sadly, the Tau are resistant to chaos. You have no psychic power. I thought I could use you, but I can't. I don't need your kind anymore. I want Ardius, the great Ultramarines veteran. When he arrived, I knew he was the offering to chaos I needed. This flesh is useless to me.
After ranting like a madman, he kills our ethereal. It turns out he's luring Captain Ardius down here so that he can use his mind for demonic possession. However, after a few railgun shots, he starts to go down. Except he doesn't, and he transforms into a changer of ways, a priest of the trickster god of knowledge known as Zeech. This boss fight is a lot tougher than it looks. The hitbox on the bird is very weird. You have to hit him center mass with every shot, even though the head does more damage. You have guns littering the arena, but only a few of them are really efficient at doing any killing. Finally, we figured out the burst cannon was the best way to do it with the auto lock, since it just fired out a mass of bullets, and really a majority of them would hit if you were close enough. His projectiles that he shoots out are just weird. It's lightning, but it just goes through everything. There's not enough health packs in here. I don't know if I died like 6 or 7 times playing this ending bit. Wait a minute! Oh! I did it.
I was about to say, yeah, you're doing it right.
Fuck. Yippee. I'm gonna... Oh, come on! Oh, I was just looking!
Fight him again.
You want to kill me?
Run it back.
You do.
Oh my god, Eddie.
Do your work.
It was a lot tougher than I thought it would be. Anyway, after finally killing the demon, we find out that the captain has decided to destroy the entire planet using Exterminatus.
We have arrived, and it is now that we perform our charge. In fealty of the God Emperor, our undying Lord, and by the grace of the Golden Throne, I declare Exterminatus upon the Imperial world of Typhon Primaris. I hereby sign the death warrant of an entire world, and consign 1 million souls to oblivion. May Imperial justice account in all balance. The Emperor protects.
We fly away in the gunship as we watch the Imperial Navy destroy the planet. And man, a lot of these shots are getting pretty close to destroying our ship. Also, why the fuck did that last song and the ending scene kind of just sound like, and the scene itself look like a Star Trek ending? Also, why were the raptors blue?
I wanna start to obey the greater good today, but soon as I get off my ship, Ethereal's cracking their whip. Wish I was out with Farsight. Instead I finished the fight. They thought I could kill Halo, but my reviews were too low.